Recording in progress, linking at each other too.
Happy.
There we go. Do we have everyone online that we need? We get everyone online that we need.
We have about 25 attendees.
So I've got Rick, so I've got Rick on, but that's who I really need. Okay, all right, so it is 11 o'clock on the October 8th, and we are calling this ETP panel meeting to order. Can I get a welcome and welcome, please?
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the October 8th PAC meeting. Before we begin, I would like to go over a few housekeeping announcements. If you are here in the Sequoia room, in order to avoid persistent disturbance of the proceeding, please do not stream via mobile device or connect to Zoom platform as it could interfere, or make sure you're on mute. If you are attending the meeting in person or presenting or providing comments, please step up to the podium and speak clearly. Also, avoid speaking over each other, as this can cause issues with our audio system, Blue Outs. For those viewing and attending the meeting virtually and would like to make public comments, please use the raise hand feature and wait for your name to be called, in which time you will be unmuted. Please speak clearly, state your name, title, and the company you are presenting. You will be given 3 minutes to speak. Now we're gonna move on to the roll call. Rebecca Betancourt,
Present.
Rachel Newsom,
Present.
Ricky Smiles,
Present.
Michael Hill,
Present.
Douglas Tracy, Chris Dombrowski,
Present.
Madison Holt,
Present.
Jennifer Fothergill,
Present.
Chair Betancourt. We have 6 members present and 1 virtual member. There is a quorum. Also present, we have Jessica Grimes, Executive Director, Kumani Armstrong, Assistant Director, Chief Counsel, and Michael Cable, Legal Counsel.
Thank you. So I am looking for an action to approve this October 8th panel meeting agenda.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
2 together, I love it. Virtual and in person. All right, so any public comment on that agenda? We will move to the vote.
Yes, I'm back.
Who's that?
Chris Dombrowski.
Aye.
Mike Hill,
Aye.
Madison Hall.
Aye.
Jennifer Fothergill.
Aye.
Rebecca Betancourt,
Aye.
and Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
All right, so it sounds like we have an approval of the agenda for today's meeting. I am now going to pass it over to the agenda items on the agenda. Should leave it with you, Mike.
I will take the lead on that, to get the conversation going. We have 2 items. One was Beano Farms, the other is Infineon. For the panel's knowledge, Beano Farms submitted a request for an extension, which was granted in accordance with 4450 subsection C, and that's been continued. It's taken off calendar today and will be put on another subsequent panel meeting. So that one's off for today.
Okay, thank you.
Next in order would be Infineon, and what we have is a 2nd level appeal. You received a copy of my memorandum, which outlines the facts in the matter, which did go through a 1st level appeal process, and then we are now at a 2nd level appeal process. I think the memo actually kind of articulates it rather succinctly, so I don't want to belabor it too much, except just to remind the panel that we're here primarily just to make a decision in response to 4450 in a 2nd level appeal, in which we choose one of those 3 options. And that's the nature of what we're doing here today. It's not necessarily an adjudication of the issues. We're not going to have that hearing today. This is more of a procedural step and looking at that 2nd level appeal. So with that, I think I will yield to see if there's any clarifications the panel may have concerning that.
Anyone have any questions on the process of today and what we're looking for?
So I think the next step would then be looking to see if I can get a motion from the panel as to one of those options.
Yeah, just.
Madam
before you-
Chair?
Yes, Mr. Smiles.
Yeah, I was going to go ahead and make a motion. Do you want me to hold off?
Give me just 1 second, because I do have
Sure.
to make an announcement that we did receive additional documents from Infineon submitted yesterday, October 7th. We acknowledged them, that they came in after the 2nd appeal was received, but we did acknowledge the receipt of those documents.
Correct, and there had been some communications with the other
Mhm.
party about those, and we did
Yeah.
talk about that being somewhat objectionable, just given 44 and that those
Mhm.
should have been presented beforehand. However, I totally recognize the need of being able to assess all facts that may be here for your decision, so I understand.
Mhm. Just making sure it's on the record.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's okay. So I did hear that Rick has something he wants to say. Is that just before we do that, Rick, is there anything in the room? Anyone have any questions? Of Matt? No. Rick? Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Madam Chair. Based on the fact that the appeal was heard and based on the statement of facts that were presented, I'd like to move that we follow the recommendations to refuse to hear the matter, and that the panel direct the legal unit to prepare and serve a written statement with the reasons for the denial in accordance with section 4450B2A1 of Title 22 of the California Code of Regulations.
Second.
So I have a second. So first, and I have a second. Do we have any public comments?
Yes, we do.
So with public comment, we just have to remember it is a 3-minute public comment window, which staff will manage for.
Hi, this is Bill Sachs with National Training. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Bill.
Yes,
Okay, great. We believe that there's a fact in dispute regarding providing sufficient time, which would allow the panel to conduct a hearing on a regularly scheduled meeting. And so that we're requesting that the panel don't accept the staff attorney's determination recommendation at this time and conduct a hearing. There was over 2,000 pages of pay stubs that were submitted that were not included in the closeout document. And the only way they can be included would be if there's a hearing that takes place. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you care for a brief response?
Sure.
Absolutely.
I was actually talking to our chair.
Okay, sorry.
Just somewhat in response, I just want to make sure we keep a few things in mind. One is, I don't think that there are any facts in dispute. I think the facts are, and I think they actually have been articulated, that is that we had a closeout and there were 9 months of going back and forth between the appellant and fiscal regarding these issues. There was a preliminary closeout. There was a request to try to have it submitted in order to have some of these resolved, and the request was to have it closed out. So I don't necessarily think that there are any facts in dispute. And I think even if we were to entertain that and we wanted to consider options 2 or 3, I think we still fundamentally have a problem. Because the nature of the remedy and what they're asking for you to do is to essentially do an amendment to the contract after the term. And we specifically have a regulation that prohibits that. So I don't even see how we even have a remedy available. And then lastly, as I point out, these are new arguments. This concept of impossibility was not raised in the initial papers. It was not, this documentation was not included in there. There is a reference in the second level appeal, and I'll acknowledge that. But in my opinion, and reasonable minds can differ, I do not think that it sufficiently articulates this argument in the second level appeal. And that's all I have at this point.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions of either? No. Do we have any other public comment?
I'm not sure if Bill has raised his hand again, or do we allow?
You could,
Yeah.
rebuttal.
Bill, if you want to, you are welcome to.
Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3?
We can hear you, yes.
Oh. Okay, great. Yes, this data did come out later, but it was an offshoot of a conversation that I had with Safdar when we basically closed down the contract. And we were given a deadline of about a week to submit the final pay stubs, which is 2,000 pages, which we did submit as part of the appeal. So we believe that there is a fact in dispute, which is that data was passed to ETP and it was not taken into consideration. It was passed as part of the second level appeal, and it was not taken as part of the second level appeal. So there was a conversation with Safdar. We concluded that he couldn't take any action on it because of ETP procedures, and that the only remedy we had was to go through an appeal process. So we did the appeal 1, got through that process, that was rejected, submitted the data with appeal number 2. At that point, the data was rejected. We don't know why it wasn't considered, but it wasn't reviewed or considered by the panel. That's why we think the issue's clouded enough where rather than refusing to hear the matter, we think it's what's fair is to conduct a hearing and to really have all the data that's available for funding be funded. Thank you.
We have no response of it and to be redundant, so I think the matter's submitted to the panel.
Thank you. Anyone have any comments, questions they have? All right, so we have a motion on the table. We have public comment. I am going to ask for a vote on the motion to go with recommendations of refusal to hear the matter as outlined by Rick and then second by Gretchen. If we could move to a roll call vote.
We have Madison Hall.
Aye.
Mike Hill.
Aye.
Chris Dombrowski.
Aye.
Jennifer Fothergill.
Aye.
Rebecca Bettencourt.
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
And Ricky Smets.
Aye.
All right, so everyone was in favor with the motion to refuse to hear the matter, giving the written reasons for denial. So that motion is adopted. We are now going to move over to the rest of the agenda items that are pretty limited by the looks of it. It's the usual, so if there's any, this is that opportunity for panel members to request any additional or agenda items for future panel meetings. Anything from anyone? Very quiet room today. We are now going to switch to any public comment for matters that were not on the agenda today. So I don't have any in the room because it's staff and panel. But do I have any public comments online for matters that were not on the agenda today? All right, with that at hand, I make it 11:13 and we can adjourn today's meeting. Do I need to vote to adjourn? Probably need to do a quick roll call vote to adjourn this meeting, but I believe I should have a motion.
Motion to.
Second.
Quick and quick. Okay, we'll go to roll call vote.
Madison Hall. Aye. Mike Hill.
Aye.
Chris Dombrowski.
Aye.
Jennifer Fothergill.
Aye.
Rebecca Bettencourt.
Aye.
Gretchen Newsom.
Aye.
Ricky Smets.
Aye.
All right, so we will adjourn 11:13. Thank you.
Every time I talk.